are ya?
Okay.
How are ya? How are ya?
So I just have to say this is really weird
Why?
because we're sitting at the same spot and it hasn't happened for a while. So I'm used to looking down when you're sitting across from me. So it's just strange.
String.
Well, I just got to get used to it because
all
I'm
right.
normally used to looking down.
Right.
Yeah. And
You'll be all right. It's all good.
Yeah.
How was your week?
My week was good.
Was it?
It was. I had an awards show that I worked this week. I can say where it was for.
I know what it was for. Peen and boom.
Right, but it was interesting. So that was a lot of fun. And then my other highlight, I'll wait to talk about until you tell your week, and then we'll share our weekend extravaganza together.
My week was a normal week. Y'all know I was off last Wednesday, and this.
About to be off again.
Well, I was off Monday and
Right.
Tuesday because today's Wednesday.
Come on now.
And
Oh.
yeah, and now I'm looking forward to Chris Brown on Friday.
In 2 days.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm ready. Me and my
Oh, my
sister-in-law
goodness. Already?
and my homegirl are going. And then I have another Monday and Tuesday off. So it is a
What?
Yeah.
Okay, what is this Monday?
5-day weekend for me. Another Jewish holiday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is the owner of your company Jewish?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
well,
Because I'm
yeah.
just like, what is going on?
So basically all of October I'm off.
I didn't know there were that many Jewish holidays in October.
Yeah, because it starts with Rosh Hashanah.
Right. I knew
And
about
then
that one.
Yom Kippur.
I knew about that one too. Where the rest?
Now, Monday, we were off for Indigenous People Day because
right.
we do not celebrate
call it-
Columbus Day anymore. And then Tuesday.
Okay, hold up. Side note. Is that official? Or is it just
It's
that
on the
most of
calendar. If you look on
people
your
have-
iPhone calendar, it says Indigenous People Day.
Well, I saw that part, but I wasn't sure
I'm
if they have
pretty sure
actually
it's
like officially
official.
changed it.
It
because,
does say Columbus Day too.
Gotcha.
And I'm
Okay.
assuming that's for the people who, you know,
Right. Okay.
want to make America great again. So,
We're not going there. We're not going there.
so yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I know that it's all Jewish holidays, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
So I know for next year, all of my vacations are going to be in October
Right.
because I took off a Friday and I have a 5-day weekend. Like,
Yeah.
and it's paid. So, you know, that's what I'm going to do.
Well, are they going to still honor the holidays that you celebrate?
Mhm.
So that means you still get Christmas off, New Year's, all of
Mhm.
that? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's just all of that on top of everything else.
Yeah, but I think the only holiday we don't get, which isn't a real holiday, is New Year's Day, or is it New Year's? Yeah, New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. No, New Year's Day is the holiday. New Year's Eve is not.
Yeah, I don't think we get New Year's Day, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's my first year here.
Right.
So, but you know what? I was looking at a calendar for 2019, so we probably do.
Wow.
So yeah, I think normal holidays it's like 11,
Right.
and I think we get like 16 or something like
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
something like that. But yeah, so I'm enjoying October, needless to say. And then we had another little fun part of our weekend together,
Yes.
didn't we?
No, yeah, that was actually a lot of fun.
What did we do?
We went to it's called the Fight is Fixed benefit concert for our friend Shanae.
Yeah, Shanae, we love you.
We do love you. That was
And we are definitely putting out good vibes and prayers
always, yes.
and everything for you. We want you to beat cancer. Cancer will not beat you.
That part.
So it was good to go and see a lot of old friends, old
Yes.
singing mates. I mean, it was beautiful. Got to see Auntie Coco with her beautiful self,
Yes,
and
and
Siobhan
Oh my
with
goodness.
her
It was
gorgeous
we were
self.
just talking about her.
I know, literally. And we got to see Maisha and
Yes.
Shavana and
Joseph.
Jose Puh
Yeah.
and so many other people.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm. And it was a great time.
It was a great time.
I don't know who the lady in the black hat was. I cannot remember her name right now.
Down.
Yes.
Okay.
And then home dude,
Cornell.
whoever he was, he sang the mess out of that song.
He sang it down.
He sang Ricky Dillard's I've Got the Victory. And Lillian Lloyd normally leads that song.
She's a very high soprano.
And she's, right. No, they didn't. No. That was the other lady who sang that.
Oh.
That was at the end. He sang the one song that I told you that a woman normally leads. It's by J.J. Hairston.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Still a soprano.
Yeah, it was a soprano part because they have a woman come out and sing it. And he went up there and he did it. And I was shocked.
Taking it down.
Yeah.
But it was really, really good to see some old faces. It was. Felt like home.
Mm-hmm.
And they sang, y'all. They sang. I'm so lucky to have friends
Majority
that
of
can
them.
sing.
Yeah.
Majority of them. Oh, except for the one.
Don't do it.
Y'all, there was this one lady here.
I told her, I said, stop looking at me. Because
it was so bad, like that people in the audience, because it was just her singing and a pianist.
Oh, that's right.
And it was so bad that people were yelling in the audience, "You better play Mark."
Right.
Didn't even acknowledge her.
But side note, no. Mark played the mess out of that baby grand piano.
He played the mess out of it.
He mixed like classical with gospel. Like the stuff that he was doing was actually pretty dope. He was good.
No, he was. So
and again, she wasn't bad.
It was just different. And here's a snippet.
Then he told me, he said your mom might know you. Sure, if I change your name, but I told Jesus, be alright, be alright, be alright.
I sent that to a friend. And the response was, who is that? But anyway, it was funny, but she was just singing, out of support. So good for her. But that was our week. It was lots of fun. And then we just, I came.
You're forgetting Des Pass.
No, I know. I was going to say, I came in early on, early Saturday morning and sat and talked with Mama Darlene for hours.
Oh, yes.
We just sat and talked, and then we went over to see our good brother, Carl's cousin, Desmond, and hung out and
got to talk with him.
We got to talk with him, and we're actually working on some stuff with him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Side note, y'all, he made something to eat.
Oh my gosh, he made chicken and waffles, but not your normal chicken and waffles because he's going to a carnival that is going to be this weekend.
I'm going to have to get down there.
In Moreno Valley. If you are in the IE, it's going to be this weekend. And he is going to have his own stand where he's going to be making chicken and waffles, but he made a chipotle syrup. He cut up some little chicken strips and made them like in little chicken nuggets.
Right.
And Carl had a
chicken and waffle
taco, and I had a chicken and waffle cone. And my God, it was delicious. So we are so proud of you, brother. And I can't wait for our next project because I'm hungry already.
Right. It was really good.
It was so good.
So if y'all in Mo Valley, go check it out. It's at a carnival, you were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to find the information, but I'm just going to have to post it up.
Yeah, we'll just post it on our page. It's all good. So yeah, but that was our weekend. We got to spend a lot of time with a lot of family. And of course, we always want to show support to people that we love. And not even people that we know, like anybody who's going through something. If we
Exactly.
can be there in support of you while you're going through what you're
And
going
that's
through.
what I loved about last night.
Yeah.
Is even though we were all there for Shanae, she kept saying, I want to make this about someone else. This is about all of us. She kept saying, we are going to be moving forward together. And she's like, I'm going through this to be able to encourage somebody else and show them that same love.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
And she has a GoFundMe page.
Mm-hmm.
And, she is accepting donations. We will put that in the link in our description as well for this week's episode.
Week, absolutely.
I do know her Cash App, however, is cha-ching sign, Shanae, Chane, Nicole, Nicole. So,
is that the actual real name for that? Cha-ching? The cha-ching sign?
That's what I call it.
I call it the dollar sign. Yeah.
But,
because when you said that, I was like, is that what Cash App calls it?
No, it's a dollar sign.
Oh, okay.
But I call it a cha-ching.
But yeah.
So if you guys want to donate, I mean, anything helps.
Right.
$1, $5, whatever. It really does help.
Well, because they showed videos last night, so she was on number 5, and she has 6 more to go.
7.
Well, no, the 7th video, remember, is the celebration video.
Oh, yeah.
So she has 6 more treatments to go.
13 rounds.
Yes, that's right.
So,
yeah. So then, hold on. Let's do that.
No, she has a total of 12 rounds.
Exactly.
And the 13th round that they are going to pay for is going to be for someone else.
Right. The pay it forward.
They don't know who has cancer.
Right.
But they are raising the money, and that they're going to obviously pay for her 12 rounds.
That's right.
And then the 13th round, they're going to...
is her paying it forward.
Pay it forward and pay for someone else's round of chemo. So it's great.
Exactly. And you know what I was thinking? I think we just talked Siobhan up, because we talked about her last month, and then we talked about her again this month.
Yeah.
And then she shows up.
I mean, and it was so beautiful. I love her so much. As soon as she saw us,
her face, it was such a good embrace.
She looked back, and she had to do a double take, and she was like, it was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. And then she just dropped everything she was doing and ran over.
Literally. And she was the host of the show.
And then tears.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I was telling Carl, I was like, it touched me so much, is because, if y'all don't know, back in the day, I used to sing background for. If you don't know who Siobhan is, she used to sing background.
She's a gospel legend.
Kurt Carr.
Yep.
And she
many
was
other
one of
people.
the Kurt Carr singers.
Yes, right.
And but
the originals.
She's an original.
Right.
And many other. And then, of course, she broke out and she did her own thing. And we sang background. We were fortunate enough to sing background for her, travel with her, do a lot of shows, and have a lot of fun. And so just building connections with her. And for the longest time, she's given me a nickname, and it has stuck every single time she sees me. And I'm telling you, it's been what?
Over 15 years?
2000, we started singing 2006, 2007 with her. And so, and it's just love when every time you are around those people, it's like nothing. There was no time.
She was just like, she kept saying, I'm just going to hug you as long as I can, because I know the next time I'll get to see you.
So it was great. It was really good. So we do probably need to start getting back out more with the people that we care about, but we be in our own.
And that's what I said. Yeah, it was good. Those that we embraced, it was good to see those and embrace them. Yeah.
So it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll just move on to our next segment, because we spent a lot of time in intros today.
Well, it was needed, because that event was actually an important thing.
It was definitely needed. And again, Shanae, we love you.
We do. And I was so glad.
And Wes too, because he's going through it with his wife.
Right. That's my boy. That's my brother.
So we love you both.
We do. And I was writing him because I was so disappointed, because originally it was supposed to be on the Sunday, and they changed it because I told him I'm not going to get to go when I was saying I was going to put it up on the page.
Yeah.
And so I was really bummed, because I was like, I really wanted to be there. And then it being changed to Saturday allowed me to be able to go. So I was really, really happy that happened.
Yes.
So
it was good.
Amazing.
So.
I almost got it in. Like, they cut it off.
There was a couple times because Siobhan was pushing, and she was like, oh, yeah.
But when Shanae went, I was like, listen here.
I held it together. But there was a time when the music stopped and I was still going, and I was
I'm
like, all
telling
right.
you, there was a moment I ran into the aisle and I literally had to hold on.
Get my dance on.
Listen,
I don't
we
care.
was talking about it on our way. I was like, listen, they're on. Yeah.
I might have been high, but so I tell you what. I was so high, my hands was shaking.
When we walked in.
Me and Carl was in there like, what is happening? Hands were shivering.
Oh, it was
Knees
an amazing night.
It was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, that's what happens when there's no alcohol involved.
Exactly. Don't
So anyway,
do the alcohol.
we're going to move to the next segment.
What we going to do first?
Help me fix my life.
Okay. All right. Is it my
I
turn
don't
to
know
read?
why he looks at me every time like I'm going to keep going. I no longer want to sing.
Okay. All right. All righty. So here we go. Hey, Carl and Trina. I need your help. I want to get out on the dating scene, but don't know the first thing about dating.
Me?
Here we go. So this morning, side note, this morning we're sipping on coffee.
Yeah, Carl doesn't have a stock of wine. I have bottles of wine under my cabinets at
Because I
home.
barely drink anymore.
Yeah, me
That's
and
it.
never mind.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just go. I'm going to start from the beginning. Hey, Carl and Trina, I need your help. I want to get out on the dating scene, but don't know the first thing about dating. I'm single and ready to mingle, but what do people do nowadays? I'm not a club goer, nor am I a drinker, but I just want to find someone nice to spend time with.
That's nice.
I'm tired of the dating apps and the superficial social media.
Yeah.
Help a sister out. Love, Sleepless in Seattle. That's a good question.
It is a good question. And unfortunately, I don't have an answer
And you
because
know
I
what?
don't know.
And I was just going to say, so, I mean, if you don't like the apps, which can be a bit of an issue, because
Yeah.
if we think about it and break it down, like, well, you know what? Let me just tell the story, because we were talking about this with Desmond, about how I met somebody from my past, from an old site,
Oh, yeah.
and they were a complete fraud.
Yeah.
The person's name was not real. Their backstory, their life. That
Their
they told me-
pictures were real.
Pictures are real.
He got catfish reverse. Right?
I guess it's like, well, because catfishing is when you pretend to be somebody else. But the whole thing is made up.
Not
The only-
always.
Oh, with catfishing?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, because they do, I guess, share their personal experiences.
They just usually aren't in
The picture is
person's
normally-
picture.
yeah.
Well, his
So you're
was the
right.
opposite.
Right, because the picture was correct. It's just everything about that person's life was a lie. And I found out from their best friend, because their best friend was finally like, I can't do this. When the best friend found out, the best friend was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I get it.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Because where does a person go to hang out if, well, I don't know if they
Well,
still
if you
like to
don't
go to bars.
clubs,
Yeah.
you could definitely I don't like clubs either, but I like lounges. I like when the difference to me between a club and a lounge is a lounge has ample seating and they play good music, and it's sort of like a bar but more
On a chill. Yeah.
vibe, or they might have live music, or they might have poetry or something like that. So
Right.
I'm more of a lounge goer, hookah bar, or even bars,
go.
like dive bars. Like I'm good with that, because when I do go to LA, if I hang out with my brother, we'll go like bar hopping,
Right.
which I feel like is just a better scene anyway. But it just kind of depends on what your preference is and what you're looking for. Obviously, if you're looking for someone older, you're going to want to go somewhere where there's going to be an older crowd.
Yeah.
If you're wanting someone between the ages of 18 and older, I mean, a
26,
club
right.
is going to be
Yeah.
your best bet. Because, things like meeting somebody at a gas station is not,
Well, it's very rare because
it's
most
rare.
people don't
I mean, that's what used to,
communicate anymore.
that's
yeah.
what used to happen back in the day. You'd be pumping your gas and the nigga pull up on you and be
Right.
like, what's it?
And you be, yeah, because now, if you think about it, when you go pump gas, most people don't even look at each other.
Yeah, no.
You're just, most people in
Well,
their
for
own
me,
world,
most
either
of
on
the
your phone.
times, old people
Oh, yeah.
pumping gas. You know,
Right.
I don't know why. Every time I go to the gas station, it's like I'm the youngest person there.
But you live in San Diego and you live in kind of an upper area. So majority of the people in that area are going to be older.
Oh, I live in an upper area.
Well, when I say upper area, I mean like an upper class area.
Oh,
So,
didn't know that.
well, it's more upper class because I've been to the gas station by your house.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of older white people.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody young
No.
because they're probably
But
further
there are-
down.
Well, no. Yeah. They're
Further
around.
down the hill, like into the city. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Because that's
But-
what a lot of young people do. A lot of richer, older people will be further out from the city because they don't
You
want to be
try
there.
not to say white people for you. You really try not to say it.
Well, because it's not always just white people.
It's not.
Yeah.
Our area is really mixed. There,
It is.
There is, all races there. And there are some young people who, because, the further out from the city you are, the cheaper the rent. However,
Not in that area.
not in my
Yeah.
not in my area. You got to go like 2 exits up or 2 exits down
Right.
for cheaper.
And then you still
Um,
got to drive further away from like the main area.
Yeah. So whatever. We're not rich. So but my mom is bougie. That's all that is.
Yeah, but I'm really trying to think because this question has me baffled because
Yeah,
I
I-
agree.
I mean,
it's
again,
tough.
like I said, the only thing that I would think is you have to get out there. But if you don't like certain settings, then obviously you're not probably going to want to meet somebody who
And I
does
get you
enjoy
don't want
those
to meet
settings.
anybody at a club because you can't talk to them anyway because you can't hear.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't like the social media, I mean, go to an art gallery. Like, go to do things that interest you, and maybe you'll see somebody there
That's actually a good point.
that interests you.
Because in my head, like, because you mentioned Chris Brown concerts, so I'm thinking in my head, well, maybe go to concerts. But then even at those type of concerts, there's so many people there and they're going with friends. So you meeting somebody there, the chances of that in our society now where everybody is so wrapped up in social media that they're either looking at their phones or they go with their group.
Yeah.
And so then they're just engaged with their group and not really looking at others. Now you might see somebody and be like, oh, they're attractive, but you're not going to walk up at the club and
Yeah,
start talking. You
I
know what I
don't-
mean?
Again, I don't know. When you find out, you let me know. Because I'm on the hunt. I'm on the prowl.
Oh, God. Oh my goodness. I can't. But you know what? You said sleepless in Seattle. So I'm assuming that you live in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
So then that's like the capital of coffee. So there must be.
Okay, but everybody who
all-
lives in Seattle doesn't like coffee.
But no, what I'm getting ready to say, but Seattle is like very rich in culture. So not only do they have the cafes, but they have art galleries, like you were saying. They have theater. They have all kinds of
As do most
events and
cities.
stuff. Well, but I'm just saying, like
I'm
in
just kidding.
Seattle, their
No, I
art
get what you're
is
saying.
like where you can meet so many different type people because so
Yeah.
many more people are involved in it as opposed to, not.
Yeah, no, I get it. I would just say get out there doing things that
Mhm.
interest you and date yourself.
Right.
And maybe while you're dating yourself, you'll find someone to date,
Oh, okay.
Because one thing, I was out for one of my friends' birthday, and one of the ladies I was talking to, she's so funny, but the one thing that she had said was, how do you expect to have somebody want to date you if you don't even want to date yourself? So she was like, you need to take the time to go out, find out the things you like, find out the things you don't like. You might say you don't like the club, but you actually might like the club. You just might not like so many people, but you actually
Right.
might like to get out and go dance and do stuff in your own space, in your own time.
Yeah.
So basically what she was saying is you need to get out and experience different things and see if you like it. Go hiking, see if you like doing that.
Right.
Go to the beach and hang out. See if you like doing that. Go to a coffee bar.
Right.
Go to an open mic. Go
Exactly, yeah.
Go to a comedy show. Go to a play.
Right.
Do all these things with yourself and not with your homegirls, because homegirls always make it fun. But like with yourself or with a more intellectual friend that just wants to have conversation
Right.
versus let's go turn up.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, that's the turn up now. Let's go to a coffee shop
Come on now.
and talk about our woes.
Or let's go support somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that helps you. I hope, the dating works out. And again, if you get if you figure out the key,
Yeah.
let a nigga know.
I know.
And that's that
On that.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, What we doing next, Carl?
I guess we're just going to have to go right into the tea.
It's tea time.
It's tea time.
It is tea time.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we are sipping on coffee and not tea, but it still
Never
works.
once when have we been doing tea time have we ever been sipping tea. Actually, the very first time because I had an Arizona tea. No, I didn't. That was water.
Who says that?
Because I was trying to remember. So, yeah.
You know, I just cannot stop thinking about it at the concert last night when that lady was singing. We was singing. And me and Carl was trying so hard not to laugh out loud.
Yeah.
And I just kept looking at him and he would not make eye contact. And he was like filling his mouth up with air and making his cheeks all puffy. So he would.
And then for a while, I literally clasped my hands and put my head down so I could block it out.
I had an outburst.
Yeah, you did. And I was so glad that the first guy screamed, play Mark.
Yeah, he said,
because
play
it made
Mark,
other
and
people
then
laugh.
Other people started
So it allowed me to get it out.
So I laughed, and then the baby started screaming. Oh my God.
Oh, it was so funny.
It was so funny, and I felt so like I tried
I was
my
trying so
hardest.
hard.
And also,
And let me just tell you why.
I had it depends. So I was
Oh, okay. Okay. And my thing is,
I wanted to see Siobhan's face so bad.
That's the other thing we were saying. We were just like, because her head never moved, we were sitting behind her and we just saw her head tilt to the right, but then it stayed there the rest of the time.
Oh, man.
So I could only imagine her face. But
Oh, Jesus.
I was trying so hard. I don't like laughing at people. I like laughing.
I gotta pee. Ooh, okay.
I kept saying that last night too. Like I said, I was trying so hard because I don't like. I'm out, and I can't even think of how to say it. I wasn't laughing because I'm making fun of her. It's just because there were some other times that certain notes just were kind of off.
Let me tell y'all what girl said. Because he trying to put off.
No, I'm not. Because I told you, I looked her right at her face and said, don't look at me.
After the first couple of words, girl go. He looks at me over his glasses and he goes, there's always one.
I did.
Because the whole night, everybody just singing down. And then she comes up.
And honestly,
and first of all, I thought it was spoken
I was
word.
just getting ready to say that. I did
And
too.
she came out and she talked for 5 minutes.
But I was into that because where she was going with it, like she was really like encouraging, and like the way she was putting those words together, I was like, wow, that's pretty
and
deep
I feel
and that's
like
powerful. I was
back
like,
in
wow.
the day, she was like an aspiring jazz singer.
Probably. But
And it just every word. So she did the church circuit.
okay,
All
and
right.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We need to move on. I can't. We need to move on.
Okay. I'm sorry. That was rough. It was rough. And the only reason because everybody, literally, there was not a single person before her that did not have me on my feet. And when I tell you, those people sang, all of them, they were killing it. And then
at one point in the night, the entire church started singing this song.
Oh,
the entire congregation, except for because it was separated very, like, all the visitors were on our side. Like the people who didn't go to the church, and all the people that went to the church were on the other side.
Yeah.
And at one point,
they just broke out to the song.
They all just started singing.
Yeah.
And me and Carl looked at each other like,
at
what
first I thought it was a recording. I even asked Trina, I was like, where is that coming from? Because no, it was so flawless. The pitch was perfect. The blend was perfect. So it really sounded like a recording. So I thought they started playing the song while the guy was talking. But then I saw the piano player playing, and then I saw the words go up on the screen. And then I was like, oh my God, it's the whole, and then Trina was like, it's the whole church. And that's when we were just like, wow.
Oh man. Oh God. All right.
Now, Maisha, I know you're listening. And the only reason you wasn't laughing is because you wasn't on stage. You was behind the stage. And I know you. I know you. I know Aniko. I know Shavana. I know y'all. So I know.
Lord, okay.
I know. Okay.
Bless her and her ministry. All right, I gotta let it go.
Okay. It was. And
oh my God.
I had hopes because there is
I just thought it was going to be a spoken word piece. And I was like, dang, that's dope. Because they had a dancer, which I didn't see. But, they had like other stuff.
Exactly.
The dancer was the only other thing
that we didn't
singing.
See. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying other than singing. Whew, so I thought it was just going to be spoken word. Okay, so tea time.
Yeah.
Because we went off track.
Do you want to go or you want me to go?
We might as well keep with the funny.
Might as well, huh?
So Elizabeth Warren was on CNN in a town hall.
Yeah.
And she was asked an interesting question. And I'm just going to let y'all hear it for yourselves and let you hear the clap back.
Right.
Let's say you're on the campaign trail and you're approached. You have been, yes. And a supporter approaches you and says, Senator, I'm old-fashioned, and my faith teaches me that marriage is between one man and one woman. What is your response?
Well, I'm going to assume it's a guy who said that. And I'm going to say, then just marry one woman. I'm cool with that. Assuming you can find one.
She was playing no games with bigotry.
She wasn't.
Y'all not doing it.
You know the thing I like about her? She has this thing now, and I didn't notice it until somebody said something. And she does this thing when she has her clapbacks now. She does this hand rub that's kind of like,
Like Mr. Burns?
Yeah. So like right after she said that, she walked back over to, it was Anderson. No, it wasn't Anderson Cooper. It was somebody else. But whoever the moderator was. And she just went like this. Just rubbed her hands real quick and was like, next question.
Yeah, it was. I saw that clip and I was like, girl, you better.
TYT. That's where I saw it. And actually, side note to that, because it's going to explain what happened later on, because you saw what happened with Don Lemon, right?
Yeah.
And that was not Buttigieg, that was O'Rourke.
Mm-hmm.
Where and the reason that happened is because I didn't know she was a trans activist.
Everybody doesn't. Just say what happened.
So let me just tell you what happened. During that same town hall, but during a different segment, candidate O'Rourke was up, and there was a lady who was getting ready to ask a question, and a trans woman came up and began to speak. And so there was an exchange where the woman was saying, African-American trans women are overlooked and not paid attention to. And so there's so many issues, medical issues that are happening with them because no one is standing up for their rights and actually trying to protect them. But fun fact, well, not even a fun fact, but there was a activist who's on TYT, the news network that I watch, and she was originally supposed to be there. And at the last minute, they told her, yes, we still want you to be there, but we don't want you to ask the question that we had originally agreed for you to ask. And that was the day of. So then she decided that she wasn't going to go at all. She was like, no, because
if I'm not going to ask my question, then I don't want to.
Right. So she said, I'm just not going to participate. And she said, but I had this battle because there were so many people who were excited for me to be there and who were going to be watching and who had flown out to go to the town hall because they knew she was going to be there. And so she was like, I just went to Twitter and I posted it that I wasn't going to be there, which is what caused what happened. So yeah, but that was an interesting exchange, and you don't see that much on television with something like that. And there were some good points that were made. Yeah. And so.
Yeah, but I kudos to Elizabeth. We love you.
Yeah, I do. She's funny.
We love you.
She that was perfect. I absolutely loved it.
Yes.
And then a little fun fact is, no, I'm not even going to talk about that. Never mind. We're just going to go on to the next one. I don't want to talk about that because it's in regards to the job that I did. So I'm just going to leave it be. So the next one that I saw was on Kanye West. Well, I didn't personally see the Sunday service that he did in Utah. Did you see that one?
No.
See, yeah, I didn't see it. And I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it anywhere online. I'm sure the video is going to pop up eventually, but apparently Kanye West, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, went to do his Sunday service like he has been, but he was in Utah. Apparently, he got up and started saying that he was still supporting Donald Trump and that he was going to vote for him again in 2020. Well, if everybody recalls... He
didn't vote last time though, right?
I don't know, honestly.
I think he said he didn't vote, but
I guess this time he's, going to vote for Trump, which I find interesting. But
why? Why do you find that interesting?
Well, this is the thing, is because, and I guess
he is very blatant and says he supports him. And I feel like there's a lot of African American people who are in upper class that support Trump because they feel like it's better for them financially.
Well, okay. On that note, I mean,
their tax breaks and stuff,
And I'll just say this: T.I. at the Revolt Summit, he was very honest. He said, "Yeah, those tax breaks helped me out a lot. However, but it's still not doing anything for my community. So that's great that it helped me and put more money in my pocket, but that's still not helping my community.
T.I.
and that's my end goal."
And
you're right, he is, and I get that, but I'm just saying, he doesn't support Trump, and he's in that same bracket. So. Yeah. But anyway, so he said he supports Trump. And the reason I said I find it interesting is because he's just gone back and forth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so one minute he does, 1 minute he doesn't, 1 minute he does. And I get that and I understand. And so that's why I say I don't know the true motives in it. So for me, it's just confusing just because I don't have the understanding and I haven't been able to find anything that supports what he says directly addressing it.
Right.
It's always that we see these clips of things he said, but there's never any context behind it.
Right.
Because it's people's opinions. So he said he still supports Trump. And the previous week to that, Jamal Bryant Harris, or is it Jamal Harris Bryant? What's the pastor of New Birth? The Sunday that Kanye was there, Kanye made a large donation to his church. And so after Pastor Bryant saw what Kanye said about Trump,
right?
Pastor Bryant decided to have a meeting with all of the board members of his church because Pastor Bryant does not support Donald Trump, and he said he would not feel comfortable. Right? And he actually doesn't at all in any way. And he said he just didn't feel comfortable accepting that money from someone who he knew openly supported Trump.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know, Pastor Brian is really big in helping the African American community. And he doesn't just help the African American community. He does help all different types of community. communities in Atlanta. But
Yeah,
it's just
disadvantaged
predominantly,
communities,
exactly.
but
But predominantly it's African American in Atlanta. So
Exactly.
therefore, and he does a lot of work with schools and different things. And so what Pastor Bryant said that his board decided to come up with was the money that Kanye West had originally donated to the church. He's giving back to a college. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Morris College, because that is where Kanye's mom
Kathy Morris
was once
Brown.
yes, it is Morris Brown College.
Mhm.
Kanye's mom was a
That's
professor
nice.
there. And so they are going to start a scholarship in Kanye West's mom's name for students there
What is
with
her
that
name?
mom. With that money.
With the mom.
But
They're gonna give his mom.
well, his mom is on, sadly she's passed
know.
away, but yeah. But in her honor, that's what they're going to do with
Yeah.
that money, which I thought was amazing. And I
No,
mean,
yeah, it is. It's great. And again, I mean, at the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't bother Kanye at all, because he's always had a heart for his people.
Mhm.
I just think, along the way things happen, and
Right.
and that happens with all of us. Along the way our ideals change, and some things aren't as important as they were before, but I don't think that takes away for what he has done
Right.
for Black people in the past, or even the path that he's paved for young artists trying to get into the music industry and be different. Because
Right.
when he did come on the scene, he was different. He was something totally different, a unique sound for the time that he came out.
That's right.
And I think, and he's also very public about the mental health issues that he's
Right.
battling, which I think is great too, because it lets people know, no matter your status, we all have
We are
things that
still
we're dealing
human.
with.
That's right.
Exactly.
You mentioned
so-
a good point, because I want to talk about the Ellen thing, and let me tell you why I want to talk about the Ellen thing. Where,
Ellen thing.
Yes, Ellen, where she took the picture with George Bush, and she got all the backlash. Did you hear about that? So she happened to be at a football game. It was a Cowboys game, and she was seated next to ex-president George Bush, and she got a lot of backlash from that. And the award show that I worked on this past weekend, there's somebody who used to work with the Ellen show, and we got on that topic, and the person who used to work there was upset. And she said it's because people forget the struggles once they've been removed and they get into a different class. And that's very
Right.
similar to what you said.
Right.
And, again, I agreed with what Ellen said, with saying, you know what, we can be friends with people that we don't agree with.
Exactly. I mean,
And I completely supported
Yeah.
that statement. However, hearing what this person said when they mentioned that, I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it sounds kind of bad in a way, but Ellen doesn't have the issues that normal LGBTQ people have,
Absolutely
because
not.
she's in a different class now.
she's in a
And
different
yes,
class.
she's been an advocate for a long time, and that doesn't change the work she's done. Do you know what I mean? Like,
She's
was
in a
huge.
different class, and then on top of that, she's a part of the privileged class.
Right.
So although, when we look at how rights were passed down,
Mhm.
she was third in line.
Right.
But it kind of goes to saying it's kind of like, though, if you actually break that down and unpack the whole situation, not being on a like looking at it from class and all of this thing,
Right.
at some point we have to forgive people for the things that they've done.
Thank you for saying that, but that's what the issue is. Because Mark Ruffalo said, I have no problem with being friends with someone, but George W. Bush never apologized for the things he did. He never
And
publicly
he
addressed
doesn't have
it.
to.
He never apologized for it,
does
and
not
he
have
never
to.
addressed it. But for some people, that is an issue, because it's like, you need to acknowledge that what you did was wrong.
No, he doesn't. He does
And
not have to.
I agree with you on that, but I'm saying some people,
What does that do for you?
well, for me,
What do words do for you?
well, what it is those people who are saying that, they're saying that he never addressed his wrong.
I understand that.
And I understand
But
that as
what
well.
does that do?
I don't know what it's going
What
to do
is
for
that
them.
going to do? You still going to be mad at
And that's the thing. I'm like, at the end of the day,
So at this point, it no longer becomes a him problem.
It's a you thing.
A you thing.
Right. Because you haven't let go of it. And somebody
Right.
admitting that they're wrong, it's not going to change it because it doesn't take the act back.
And guess what? Sometimes you will wait for an apology for a lifetime and you'll never get it.
But that just goes back to the forgiveness.
So you're telling me that's going to derail, you know, your track? Because when you hold on to stuff, that holds you back. I mean, you ain't hurting nobody but yourself.
I agree with you on that.
So,
because as you see, George W. Bush has moved on with his life.
okay, he might be old and
he's retired
and
now,
falling apart,
right?
but
And he's enjoying the game and living his life. He's moved on, but the people who it bothers it, they're still holding on to it.
And the other thing is, I think, and it kind of goes back to what I said last week when I stated, you know, that Amber, I was about to call her old girl, but old girl.
Right.
Just because it's not showing on the outside doesn't mean that people aren't dealing with stuff. So just because he never publicly addressed that doesn't mean that he, you know, hasn't years later and seeing all of the chaos and everything that has commenced as far as Black people, LGBT, Mexican Americans, all of that thing, you know, all of those things coming to light doesn't mean that he has never felt bad for anything that he's ever done.
Right.
You know, or had to deal with that in another aspect, physically or something, you know, because you get karma for things that you do, no matter what. So, you know, we so worried about you need to do that. People get theirs.
One way or the other.
One way or the other.
But
so,
I think but it's this society now, because we're in social media, we need to see it.
No,
and actually, I'm going to remove myself from that because I don't care, because it's just like people driving on the freeway. The other day I was talking to you. Actually, we were going out to go see Desmond, remember? And all that traffic was there for cars that were pulled over on the side of the road. There was nothing blocking the traffic. But
happening.
People need to look.
Yeah.
And so it's just like the same thing. If you don't say it on social media or you don't come out and say it so I can see it and give my opinion on it, then it's not good enough. And I think,
y'all.
It's funny how people want their privacy, but then they want others to have to publicly do things.
Right.
I'm like, but that's the hypocrisy of all of it. Again,
it is what it is.
Honey.
One more thing in tea time, though. So, if you guys haven't already watched it, there's a new show on Netflix that airs every Wednesday called Rhythm and Flow, which I believe is a T.I. production, a Grand Hustle production, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. However, T.I., Chance the Rapper, and Cardi B have teamed up to find the next big hip-hop star.
So it's just those three, and then they bring like an additional guest rapper on?
Yeah, so basically how it went in the first episode is they were in LA, so they went and got Snoop.
Okay, thank you, because that's the one you showed me, and I was confused.
In the first episode I watched, I bawled my eyes out because Nipsey was on there. T.I. actually had, and that was the last time T.I. actually got to see him before he passed.
Oh, wow.
And so you just, oh, man, as soon as I saw him on the screen, I immediately started bawling. Like, it still kind of has an effect on me. But it was beautiful seeing, and they dedicated that episode to him, and they had, you know, at the end.
Right.
But it was great. It's a really good show. It is very explicit language. My mom watches it, though, so it can't be that bad. You know, I mean, it is bad, but she, you know, my mom enjoys those American Idols and all of those
things. She likes the competition shows.
If you like competition shows, you'll really love it. But a lot of these people really, really can rap. And it's crazy to see all of them have a story. Every single one of them has a story. And it just kind of brings you back into perspective of reality that we all come from somewhere. And Cardi said something that kind of like blew my mind. But she said along the lines of, we all have a sad story.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't use that sad story and expect people to feel bad for you and give you a spot. No, you got to work and you got to earn it. And it just kind of, you know, I feel like that's the culture that we're in right now, this cancel culture. Everybody feels like, look at me, woe is me, woe is me.
But where did that come from, though? Think about it. So all of these years in entertainment, what has it been? And I know this only because it was taught to us in film school. Hear me out on this. Mm-hmm. So one of the first things that we had, my first class was music management.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they were talking about, and when you want to be an artist manager, you have to, from the very beginning, brand yourself.
Yeah.
And the first thing they say is, what's your story?
Yeah. Of
What
course.
makes you different?
Mhm.
And that's because what the business is. The business has always said, you got to have a story. Like
But
people
you
want to
use
see
it.
something and
Yeah.
you got to use it and this, that, and the other. But then when you break it down in the reality of the situation, Cardi B just said the truth. She's like, so what? We all have a story.
Yeah. What are you doing? Like,
And that's so true.
And the crazy thing, the one thing that I love, so each judge has their own different perspective, which is great. They're all very, very
Yes,
different.
they are.
And, T.I. is very composed,
Mm-hmm.
very analytical,
Right.
and kind of is, he's looking at the entire package,
Right.
entire package. And then you have Chance over here who he's looking for
Create the creativity
the
of it.
creativity, the art, the artist.
Yeah.
That's what he's looking for because
Mhm.
his group of people are artists. His group of people are poets.
So the one you showed me, whose artist was that?
That was just an LA person. So
Oh,
they didn't
okay.
pick the LA people. But so it starts off in LA, the first episode, all three of them are together. And then
Mhm.
after that, there's 3 separate episodes, which is New York, which Cardi goes and gets people.
Mhm.
Then there's Atlanta, T.I. goes and gets people.
Gotcha.
And then there's Chicago, Chance goes get people. So
Gotcha.
Chicago's episode, I'm going to tell y'all, like all the, everybody's good.
Right.
But those Chicago people, they are poets. It's something
Oh, wow.
totally like mind blowing. But anyway.
But that's Chance's thing, though.
Yes. And
Yeah.
Chance has 2 girls on there out of this. Anyway. So, but you have Chance who's an artistic one, but Cardi, and I think it's because of how she came about. She said, look, are you marketable?
Oh,
Are you the entire package?
see.
She's like, when you go into this room, when white people are looking at you and they say all they see is a big dollar sign, a big cha-ching sign.
Oh, okay.
She said, how are you going to make them money? If I give you this money, are you going to be able to make me some money?
Right.
Are little girls going to want to go to your concert?
Right.
Are you going to have a personality on social media? She's looking at this new age stuff.
Right.
Which is great because now you do have,
You have
to
to
be
have
that.
all three
You
of those
have to
aspects
be,
on your business.
on your biz. You have to be on your grind. You have to be put together. You have to have your
Mhm.
stuff in order. But you also have to be a people person.
Right.
She said, this is about love. People have to love you
Yeah.
for you to make it.
That's true.
And I'm like, you never think about it like that. But anyway, if you get a chance, check out Rhythm and Flow. Right now, there's 4 episodes up on Netflix, but every Wednesday they release some more until the end of October. So,
yeah. That's one I'm going to watch for
yeah,
sure.
definitely check it out. It's really good. So, yeah, that's
that
about
on that.
it
I
on
know.
tea time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to go into self-care, but I kind of want to spin it
Okay.
a little bit and just talk about maintaining your happy.
Huh. Okay.
And again, I think it ties into kind of what we were talking about with the breaker who wrote in today, kind of
Yeah.
like doing things to make you love yourself even more.
Right.
Dating yourself, taking yourself out to eat, taking yourself to go get yourself something to make you feel better. Like
Mhm.
doing things like that to maintain your happy, because sometimes we get caught in the routine
Yeah.
of every day. And we did this kind of in the beginning. We challenged you guys to do something for someone else and do something for yourself. And I feel like it's always good to come back to that. So it's been 6 months
Mhm.
since we did it. So I challenge all of you guys again this week to do something nice for yourself. Take some time for yourself. Get yourself a book. Take yourself to the beach. Take yourself to get some dinner or some
Mhm.
ice cream. If you don't, if you're on a strict diet,
Right.
do something to make yourself happy and feel good. For me, it might be to go get a new crystal because that's what I'm feeling.
Right.
I'm already doing for myself. I paid some money to sit 4th row so I could see the love of my life.
Right. Right.
Love of my life, you are my friend.
That was my jam back in the day,
Love
though.
of my life.
Common and Airy K.
I wanna can't depend. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I won't. I know.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You know what? I agree with you on that.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
we haven't done that in a while, and I just think it's always good. You know, especially life is busy. You have kids, you're running around,
Mhm.
you're working multiple jobs, you're
Yep.
just trying to maintain.
And sometimes you forget to take a
And you
pause.
forget to take a break.
Yeah.
And you work yourself into being sick.
Or depressed or down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. And you will.
Or do like we did and go to a concert and find the comedy in it.
Yeah. And find the joy in it.
I was-
Because it was.
You know what I was referring to. I had to bring it up again.
I know you did.
But yeah, go and
Yeah.
get you a good laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go do something.
Yes.
I try to make sure that I have something to do at least once a month that's kind of like a big thing. So I actually get 2 this month. I'm going to Chris Brown, and then the week after that, I'm going to the 85 South show. So
See? Yeah.
I'm super excited because I want some laughter. I'm not taking
Right.
this life too serious. Shoot, we got one life to live.
I said it yesterday. You're right. I was like, look,
You
you
sure
get
did.
one chance.
Yeah,
One.
don't
Literally.
settle.
Come on now.
Don't settle.
And I'm like, just think about that. I was talking to
Excuse
somebody.
Oh my God.
It's the
It just
coffee.
came up.
It's the coffee. I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, just think about this. I said, there are 7.63 billion people on this planet. However, you were the only one with your looks,
Right.
that has your personality,
Right.
that has your brain,
Right.
that has your experiences, that has your desires,
Right.
that has your dreams, that has your passions.
Right.
I said, so you have to begin to look at yourself
Mhm.
as something of value.
Yeah.
I said, because what puts value on something? And the example that I used was
One of a
Kanye
kind.
shoes. I said, I use Kanye shoes because he made 200 of them. So that means that people were willing to pay thousands of dollars because they were limited edition and that nobody else was going to have them. And I said, and when you begin to look at yourself in that same way, that I am the only one out of 7.63 billion people, then you'll begin to deal with yourself differently.
Yeah.
Because then you'll begin to have more value on yourself because you realize I am the only one.
Yeah.
That alone makes you special. So then don't just squander it
Exactly.
because there's not going to be another one.
Exactly.
You can't just go out and buy another iPhone. Those are like a dime a dozen.
Oh, our Jesus. And
I'm just using that
in a
because it's so
minute, we gonna
saturated.
have to all buy an, if you
But
don't
do you see
have
what I
a-
mean?
If you don't have an X, you're going to have to buy a new one. Tired of this.
But that's the point I'm making. They're a dime a dozen.
I
you
was
know?
talking to I just got to say, I was talking to my brother the other day,
Mhm.
and his phone was messed up. And so he has, Apple Care or whatever on his phone. So they was able to fix it. He has
Right.
a 7. And he
Oh,
goes,
they're
yeah.
going to tell me. Yeah,
he
they
asked
probably
me-
told them.
He asked me, he was like, what phone you have? And I was like, the X. And he said, I'm about to have this phone for another 7 years. And I said, why? And he was like, yeah, it costs too much money. I have 2 kids. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
crazy.
just pay $1,000 a pop for a phone just because mine broke. Like, that's not
Right.
normal. And he's like, and I don't want to be in a contract always in a contract paying for leasing a
Exactly.
phone.
Exactly.
And I said, I get it, but you know that your phone's going to stop working.
Well, they do because
I said, your phone is next to go.
Well, the thing is, what they have begun to do, because remember there was that big issue where it came out where people
Yeah,
had
they
realized that
admitted
it was
to it.
slowing. Yeah, and Apple admitted to it. So now what they do is they try to keep what they're doing now is because they realized it was wrong. And they realized that too many people are using their phones and people are going to notice. So now they do try to specifically, they have teams dedicated now to just focus on each phone and try to make sure that it still stays functional because they understand people are like, no, we're not going to keep spending this money because you want us to.
My
It's ridiculous.
My daggone laptop, I can't even go. What's the one right now?
The Mojave.
I can't even go to
They won't-
Mojave.
yeah. They haven't done it with the
Because
computers
my
yet.
Mac is damn 2012.
But the thing is with computers is it's different because computers, they don't go obsolete for like until 6 or 7
well,
years.
I can't get Mojave because my computer don't even do something.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm like, it ain't my fault.
right.
It ain't my fault that I'm not here making new.
Okay, we gonna go.
Blaming on the juice. Gotta blame it on my juice, baby.
Ain't that Lizzo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. I like her a lot.
But anyway,
Yeah,
that's
we
that
gonna
on
go.
that.
Ain't it though?
It's time for
Okay.
me to go because I got to get on the road.
Right.
To Jack.
So we gonna we gonna go.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We love you and we mean it.
Oh. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm thinking about the interview.
I know.
No. The thing that I said, that's not funny last night. We're going to go. Love, life, positivity always.
Just pray for Michael. Michael. Bye.
We love y'all. Oh, it's not funny. Oh, it's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing. Oh, okay.
I thought it was just because I was high. But it's still funny.
Okay, we gotta go. Oh my God.